In Luke 2 and Matthew 2, we've got the shepherds and the kings. So you remember that I was talking about how we've got the upper ends of society and the lower ends of society. So in the birth of Jesus, we see that everyone is welcome. Everyone has access. In the ministry of Jesus, later on in the Gospel of John, in John 3 and John 4, we see two very different stories. In John 3, Jesus ministers to a guy called Nicodemus. Great name, I know. If you're looking for a name for your baby and you kind of can't quite decide between John, Barry, and Nicodemus, Nicodemus is a great name. And Nicodemus was well respected. He was a religious leader. He would have been like kind of the equivalent of maybe like a bishop or an archdeacon or something like that. And he was well respected in the religious community. And he came to Jesus at night and he had all of these questions, and Jesus stayed up in the small hours answering all of his questions. And again, we see this high end of society. And then in John 4, there's a story where Jesus speaks to the woman at the well who was a social outcast. She was living in shame. She'd had lots of husbands, and the community despised her. And again, just like in the birth of Jesus, in the ministry of Jesus, we see that from the top ends of society, the well-respected religious leader, right through to the social outcast, again, God is showing us everyone is welcome. And so in the birth of Jesus, we see this is for everyone. In the ministry of Jesus, we see again, this is for everyone. Doesn't matter whether you're the lowest respected person in society. You know, she came out to draw water from the well in the heat of the day. Worst time to go out. It was hot. And, you know, most people draw water at the start of the day or the end of the day where the sun was low. But because she didn't want to be seen by anyone. Has anyone ever felt like that? Yeah, I felt like that sometimes when we're so full of shame about our lifestyle choices or the mess we've made, where we go out of our way to avoid people, don't we? We don't want to be seen. We don't want to interact. Yet in that place of trying to hide from everyone, that's where Jesus found her. The most kind of rejected person in that village, in that town. And he met her. And the most respected religious leader. And Jesus had time for him as well. In his birth, we see that the message of Jesus is for everyone. In his ministry, we see that the message of Jesus is for everyone. And lastly, in his death, in Luke 23, I think it is, it talks about Jesus on the cross. And there's a character, and this is one of my favorite characters in the Bible. And everyone's kind of got their favorite character. It might be Zacchaeus up the tree or Nicodemus coming in the night to see Jesus. But one of my favorite characters in the Bible, he's called the penitent thief. And either side of Jesus on the cross, there were two thieves who'd been convicted of crime. And one of them mocked Jesus. But the thief on the other side of Jesus, he recognized Jesus. He said, "You haven't done anything wrong. Surely you are Lord." And Jesus said to him these words, which to me sum up the whole mission of Jesus. He looked at him and he said, and this is recorded in the Bible, it says, "Today you will be with me in paradise." The lowest scum of society, you know, convicted of crime, hung on a cross, left out in the noonday sun to die. And he looked at Jesus and he recognized who he was. He said, "Surely you're the Son of God." In the birth of Jesus, we see the messages for everyone. In the ministry of Jesus, the life of Jesus, we see everyone is welcome. And in the death of Jesus, we see that everyone is welcome.